Hello, good morning everybody. Today I'm going to be giving you a prediction update reading for the 16th of June. Now I'll just close my eyes and we'll just get started and see what comes up. Now I'm getting shown hieroglyphics. So they're showing me a picture on, for example, the wall of a tomb or some sort of wall in Egypt. And there's a lot of pharaohs, being looked after. They've got the servants or the peasants helping them. There's people sitting at tables, there's people sitting at chairs, and they're taking me to the next part of the drawing, and there's like a lion, and I guess you could relate that to the Sphinx-like character, where the Sphinx, if you think of that representation of the Sphinx, it's sitting there, it has its arms like this, and it's very, it's almost, I would say it's got that lion energy. It's like the protector. It's looking like over things and keeping an eye on everything. So it's like a structure of strength and support for the region. That's how I would see the Sphinx. So they're definitely showing me like the Sphinx looking over everything. And then they're also showing me, I get it again, that dragging of, I talked about it a couple of times, that dragging of the blocks for the pyramids, how the little peasants and the little people were, apparently, forced to drag these blocks to help build the pyramids. But they're showing me now that if you're watching my video, we dropped the rope of the pyramid blocks and pulling those burdens in life a long time ago. So we're not in this scene, but the people waking up are in this scene. And what they're showing me is they have severe rope burn. Maybe that was the bleeding yesterday. They have severe rope burn. Their hands are red raw. And it's almost, this is the message that they're saying to me, the guides today, is they can't pull this load anymore. They're having to give it up because the pain is getting just too great for them now. They're going to have to do something to heal these wounds that they have. Now, that could be, we could relate that, I guess, to the healing of their souls, because this is a soul breakdown process, the awakening. But it's also they have to learn to, not learn, but they have to drop their own burdens, which is all the things they've carried through life, all the hurts, all the pains. They have to get their courage up now, and they have to shed that old part of their life. So I'm definitely getting that for the people waking up too. They're having to drop the rope because of the severe rope burn and the damage that has happened to them. And this could also be around, the jabs, but it's also about their finances now. It's every aspect of their life is being touched. For some reason, look, I know it's affecting us all as well. I get it, and we all know that. But for some reason, it's like we're viewing that from a different platform, isn't it? It's like we're up at some lookout, and we've got the binoculars again, and we're just observing all this. We actually feel detached from all this because we're not living in fear. We don't live in fear and dread and anxiety. We choose not to live in those old emotions anymore. We have gone through them. I'm not saying we haven't, because a lot of us have, but we choose not to stay there. So we're now on this viewing platform, looking down at everybody who has been starting to drop the rope because their rope burns are so severe, and they have to drop their burdens and let things go and leave them behind them. So this is part of that awakening up process now that is actually happening. And that's what I'm seeing in this hieroglyphics. It's like there's a little story to tell. We know what we could call it, the COVID agenda story that we talk about on my channel. But this is in Egyptian hieroglyphics. So they've got this dropping of the rope on the big giant blocks that are being dragged. Now what the imagery here is actually saying is that the small peasants and the slaves and the people who were being, I guess, dictated to are now banding together. So they're also showing them over here. And I'm getting the visual of, for example, a beautiful fire. You know, it's one of those, it's really been built up beautifully within that teepee shape, and it's all burning. And there's all these logs around this fire, and all these people are starting to gather now. The ones that have dropped the burdens and the ones that are trying to heal their wounds, they've moved over and they're sitting around this fire. And now they're showing me kind of like, I'm getting more of a, the imagery here I'm getting is that sort of Native American Indian image, where they sit around and they all have, it's called a powwow, I'm sure of it. And they sit around and they all talk. And they have like these open discussions where they sort of help to heal each other. It's like, I guess you could call it like counseling, really, like a, you know, psychologist session or counseling and a healing. I know that American Indians still do this. They take a lot of wisdom from their elders and they all gather. And this is kind of where we've transitioned to, you know, from the Egyptian hieroglyphics. We've gone to trying to, and these are the people waking up. They're now sitting kind of around this fire and they're having to heal. So they're having to take knowledge from other people. You know, it could be us just saying that we're sharing a lot of stuff. I'm not saying that we're all full of wisdom and everything. I'm not saying that in that way. But they're now having to start to listen, because it is, like I said, the waves were washing over everybody and knocking them over to become a castaway just collapsed on the beach. But now they're having to listen, because if they're going to make a decision, like I talk about the fork in the road, they have to make a very clear and informed decision, which a lot of them thought they made 2 years ago. So they're going to have to start to listen to the elders. And this is just about the ones with the knowledge, which pretty much would be you guys watching this channel, or anyone who's woken up, who was on that journey and who's hopped off and hopped on here. We know what's really going on, because we sense and we feel it and we know it. So now they're having to start to listen. And that's why you'll often find they get a little bit more aggressive and more angry. And that's why I did warn you about that, because they're always going to shoot the messenger. And that was something my husband said the other day as well. And, you know, you forget. I might actually leave a video here. I've got a video on why people shoot the messenger. Because people always shoot the messenger. That the anger just comes up in them that quickly. They sort of can't control it sometimes. And unfortunately, the person with the information is the first sort of point of call. So that's why I keep saying to you, it's very important that you protect yourself when these people are starting to listen and start to receive the information. Really keep yourself strong and keep yourself safe. But I'm definitely getting that now. We've got this, the counseling kind of powwow of these. Well, it's like the American Indians. If you picture that visual in your head, everybody's sitting around starting to communicate and starting to help each other. And that's what we need. We need people helping each other. We don't need any more division. Gosh, there's been so much of it, hasn't there, in all aspects of our lives. We need to come back together. I'll just see where else we go with this today. Now they're showing me it's like I'm getting the visual of like a Prince Charming, but it's like more of a Beauty and the Beast kind of scenario, where he appears as one thing, but then he's really something else. So it's like, and this is what I'm getting around these people waking up. It's appears to be this, you know, well, beast. We know it's a beast because we see the real beast, but they're transitioning now into like the prince, like it's becoming this. They're understanding that there's like two sides is kind of what I'm getting. So, you know, you've got the beast, but then you've also got this a gorgeous Prince Charming inside the beast. So this is the illusion. Again, I'm getting back to this visual of the illusion of all of this. Like, this is what people are dealing with now. They're having to realize that when they saw something one way, but inside it was actually another. And that's not easy to process. That's not easy to process for anybody who's been living in this bullshit for 2.5 years, excuse the French, but you do get past it, don't you, sometimes? And that's why I'm getting that song. Like, it's that they're in that transitional period now. That, you know, well, I guess you could say they've been beasts a little bit to a lot of us, haven't they? And they've just been, and now they're having to transition into their real form, and find their way back to who they really were. And that's by releasing those burdens and healing their wounds. They're coming back to who they really were. And I guess that's what the guides are trying to explain to us here with the Beauty and the Beast kind of analogy. Like, you know, when you're in a mass psychosis, or when you're being fooled, or it turns you into somebody else. But then there's this process that you can go through that can bring you back to who you really are at the core of your very being. So that's the Beauty and the Beast. I know we all know Beauty and the Beast. It's such a beautiful song too. I really love Beauty and the Beast. Maybe play that today, because that has a lot of healing qualities in it, that song. It's just it's a magical song, because the girl who was in it, the one who was Hermione, actually, that played in the latest version of Beauty and the Beast, she could see through that person and who he really was. She never saw him as the Beast. And I think this is what a lot of us have had to go through and learn with our lessons in the last couple of years, is that we have to see past all the garbage that we've been going through and what all these people have done to us, because inside everybody's got good qualities. We're not all just defined by our current situation, is probably what I'm saying, because we've got to remember too that these people were trapped in this mass psychosis and trapped by government, trapped by media, and that's why I'm getting that Beauty and the Beast, because the Beast was trapped by a spell that was cast on him, and it was to change him. So it actually, because he actually did have a big ego, and his ego became broken down in this whole process, and then he ended up being this softer, kinder person. So I think we have to just accept that this has all been part of the process too, and not hold grudges against people and this kind of thing as well. So I just want to leave you with that today. Go and check out Beauty and the Beast and play that song today. I think you'll get a lot of meaning from that, and it'll help us to soften as well and accept, you know, what these people have been going through, because it really is like being under a spell. So look, thanks for watching today. I'm going to say goodbye from Australia. Have a wonderful day. I might try and pop on today and do a financial reading if I get time, and we'll get an update there. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll talk to you very soon. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Bye.